Bundy pinned this man one time. Pinned him again for a 5 count.
He told the referee keep counting to 5.
The fact of the matter is this: on the five-time WCW champion, now can you dig that?
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of 5 Count. My 5 takeaways from tonight's episode of WWE Friday Night Smackdown. Again, I thought tonight's show was really, really good. It moved along some storylines. You guys know I'm big on the storylines. So let's get into my 5 takeaways from tonight's show. Number 5. Listen, I need to start with this. This wasn't going to be on my list. I had something else in there, but I feel like I have to sound off on this because wrestling fans suck. And by that, I mean these what chants are completely out of hand, completely out of control. Tonight, Piper Niven is cutting the promo of her life. I mean, not bumbling over her words. She's bringing up all her wrestling history, talking about how she was a champion in this promotion, that promotion, this continent, that she's the one that's putting Scottish women's wrestling on the map. And before she ever set foot in WWE, she was a champion, and Bayley is just feeling it. And what does the dumb ass wrestling fans do? They keep peppering her with the what chants. Listen, I know people always say, oh, you pay your ticket, you can go and do whatever you want to do, not at the risk of ruining the show. I mean, this girl is finally getting a chance. I mean, think of all the shit she's had to deal with. She's had to deal with the stupid dewdrop thing, and then to overcome that, they're finally giving her some shine. She's going to get a title shot in her hometown. That's what it looks like. And to have these dumbass wrestling fans just constantly, listen, Steve Austin came out with that what chant in 2001. I was 21 years old then. So this is 23 years ago. That what chant has been out for 23 years. And these asshole fans are still chanting it. And they don't even chant it good. It's all off. It's uncoordinated, and and it's just ridiculous at this point. You know what I mean? You come to a wrestling show, enjoy the damn wrestling show, and stop trying to ruin it. Stop trying to get yourself over every time. The promo was great. Piper Niven did a great job with the promo, but I'm telling you, these fans ruined they ruined the moment, man. The what chance, they just gotta go. I remember when I was at SmackDown in January or February, somebody tried to do the what chant and my whole section booed them out of it. So they were trying to get the what chant going and everybody collectively just start booing them down and just got rid of it. That's what you fans that are there need to do. When these asshole jackoffs start doing these what chants, you need to boo that shit down. I mean, Piper was pouring out her soul and they just ruined it, completely ruined it. And it's terrible. I hate it. I really, really hate it. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm an old school wrestling fan and we know how to enjoy wrestling and have fun at wrestling events. You don't try to get yourself over at the expense of the wrestlers. And I feel like that's what they were doing. and it's just terrible. It's a whole terrible thing, man. I feel so bad for Piper. She had a little line. I think she said something to the effect like, say, what if you're inbred? And those idiots still said what? Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're doing it, and it has no meaning to it. Like, I see when Austin did it, it at least had a meaning to it. It was annoying then, but at least it had a meaning to it. It was a means to end. Now they're just doing it just because. And it's ridiculous, but I stayed on that for too long. Let's get into my number 4 takeaway from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. So here we have the Future versus the Megastar. Listen, I've been very critical of LA Knight matches because LA Knight to me is a character. He's 90% character and like 10% in-ring work. Venkat put it so eloquent one time on Wrestling with Reality. He was saying how LA Knight doesn't have a comeback. Like he doesn't have a succession of moves. And when I thought about it, I wanted to disagree so bad. But when I thought about it, I'm like, damn, you know what? He's right. But LA Knight tonight had a match with Carmelo Hayes, and it was a great television match. A lot of fire. The crowd was into it. The crowd was into everything. One thing that I loved, LA Knight, I think, did a backdrop on the announce table, and that's how they went into break. During the replay, they replayed it, so in that slow motion, you just see Carmelo Hayes bouncing off the announce table, and then they went right into commercial break. Man, whoever's producing these WWE shows now, I think his name, Lee Fitting, that's his name. Kudos, man, fantastic work. Just going into it. They don't do the old thing anymore where it's rest hold and now you know they're going into a commercial break. They go into commercial break on some excitement, but I thought this was a great match. LA Knight wins with the roll up. Carmelo Hayes doesn't lose anything. And they're like, oh, Carmelo, all he does is lose. This man has rubbed shoulders with Cody Rhodes. He's wrestled Randy Orton. He's wrestling LA Knight. They have him wrestling all the top faces in the company. So it doesn't matter. Like they have, like, listen, they are going to strap a rocket on this guy. His losses aren't like just meaningless losses. His losses are, damn, I was this close to beating the top guy. So, you know, you have to look at things like that. But this was a fantastic match between LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. Let's get into my number 3 takeaway from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Come on, man. As long as they're on the TV, you know they're going to get into this countdown some type of way. Melanin Magic. That's the name I gave them. I don't know what the hell they're calling themselves. It doesn't even matter. Melanin Magic. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill just exudes star power. And I will say this. They are the best best set of tag team champions in wrestling, period. I'm talking about men and women. Come and get me. Come and get me if you disagree with what I'm saying. They are the most over. As far as tag team champions in any company, they are the ones that people talk about. They are the ones that get the best crowd reaction. I don't care again about your star rating. I don't care anything about that. I'm saying when they come out, people tune in. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I love their finisher. Bianca hits a DDT into a wheelbarrow suplex. Tonight they wrestled Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And I like how there was a particular moment in the match where Indy Hartwell started mimicking Jade Cargill. It was just great, man, because Indy Hartwell is awesome. Candice LeRae is awesome too, but I think she's just not translating with the crowd. But it was a decent match, but again, it was just a setup. It was just a setup what is ultimately going to happen. You had Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark at ringside, along with Aladon and Alba Fire. So Melanin Magic wins. They're holding up their belts, and then the two heel teams attack them. Eventually, Melanin Magic does fight them off. But it's just setting up. And then they did a backstage segment where Jade and Bianca were coming out of Adam Pearce. We're coming out of Nick Aldis's office. And they were like, yeah, we got a match at Clash at the Castle between these two teams. So you got a triple threat match for the tag team championship. It should be good. It should be really good. And I will say this, working with Bianca, Jade has improved miles already. She is hitting that pump kick now. You guys know how I was criticizing every time, like, damn, she can't hit the kick for anything. She can't hit the kick. But she is hitting that kick now, and it is awesome. It looks good. Her transitions into power slams and her transitions into suplexes, because she's so strong. And normally the women that she's wrestling are so much smaller. She can twirl them around and she can do all type of things, and it just looks great. Jade Cargill is, like I said, she's megastar money. And I, you guys know what I'm waiting for. I am just patiently waiting for the turn. And I'm telling you, mark my words, I'm the first person to say this. It's going to be Bianca that turns on Jade, and not Jade turning on Bianca, because Bianca is going to go back to NXT Bianca, and she's going to be like, oh, man, you got too much spotlight. I'm the one that main evented WrestleMania. I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that made Trevor's top 10 list of Black World Champions. But she's going to be the one that turns on Jade. Mark my words. Remember, I'm the one that said that. But this is shaping up. The women's tag team division in WWE, as long as these two are champion, stands a chance. It might be something. There was another really, really good match on this show. It didn't make my list, but I do want to give it honorable mention. Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. And there was a spot, man, where Johnny Gargano legit got dropped on his head, and he just got up and held his shoulder. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But I'm glad to see that it looks like he's all right, because he just kept going. Man, Johnny Gargano has had some scary looking spots in his career in WWE, but I'm glad that it seems like he's okay. I can't wait for DIY to finally get the titles. And Triple H, you've been righting every wrong. Please right this wrong. Can DIY get back their old music? Please, just please. Can they get back their old music? It's so much better than whatever this is. Hey, please, just help me out. So let's get into my next takeaway, number 2. So number 2 on my list of takeaways from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. What could it be? Oh, man, Solo Sikoa sits at the head of the table. Listen, you guys know this bloodline story to me has dominated WWE. And when it's all said and done in the annals of wrestling history, this will go down as probably a top 10 angle, just for the longevity of it and how they continuously find a way to keep it fresh. And remember, Jacob Fatu has not even debuted yet. But tonight, Solo Sikoa, he anoints Tangaloa into the bloodline. So Paul Heyman cuts his promo, just great on the mic, and he's saying that Tama Tonga is the right-hand man. I really forget what they call Tangaloa. It happened at the beginning of the show, and I forgot. I don't take notes either. I just, whatever I can remember is what I remember. But I forget what he called him. Somebody in the chat help me out. And shout out to those of you watching over on Twitter. If you do want to comment on the videos, just come on over to YouTube and get interactive in the chat. So they go through their whole bloodline thing, but I love it, man. It's like, it's the little things. There's always the little details in wrestling. The fans are chanting, "We want Roman," and Solo says, "Now you want him. Now you want him." Just so subtle, like, "Now you want him." He just mouthed it, "Now you want him." But anyway, he does his thing. He's literally mimicking everything Roman Reigns was doing. When Roman Reigns, does the whole "acknowledge me," and he brings you into the family and this and that. And it's literally, if you have an eye for this stuff, you're watching. It's like, I remember Bruce Pritchard was saying on Something to Wrestle, when they were talking about the mega powers exploding, he said, just look at all the subtleties that happened during that whole lead up. He said that Hulk Hogan would just, just innocently just place his hand on the back of Liz's back, just doing it innocently. And all that stuff was just fueling Macho Man's jealousy. And that's what's happening now. Solo Sikoa is literally mimicking everything that Roman Reigns does. And it is to the point where it is going to start pissing Roman Reigns off. When he comes back, I mean, he's going to be ultra face, and this shit is going to get insane. So they call out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out. Hey, Kevin Owens is a soldier. He can go 1 against 30. He doesn't care. He comes out there. They get into a brawl. The numbers are against him. The Street Profits come out and help him. And later on, so they announced in the main event that it is going to be the Bloodline versus the Street Profits and Kevin Owens. And they had a great main event, man. That was just fun. But again, here we are. Solo Sikoa has Montez Ford going to hit him with the spike. He changes his mind, hits the ropes, and hits the spear. And it's just like, I mean, come on, man. Like, hey, he's ahead of the table now. So I guess you have to have the spear as your move. And it's crazy. Just this match, though, was frenetic pace. Angelo Dawkins doesn't get enough credit for how far he's come along and how great he is from the NXT days, where they tried to pair him with everything. I think in his NXT run, he had about 4 or 5 partners, and nobody would stick until they put him and Montez together. And it's just been money ever since then. They are so fun to watch. It's great. I don't know, maybe Bobby Lashley does have a legit injury, so in the time being, having them feud with the Bloodline is fine with me. It gets them on TV. I love to see them. Then at the end of the match, because Solo Sikoa hits KO with the chair, so it's a disqualification. So it was a no contest finish in the match. Whatever. It's setting up for something different. I wouldn't be surprised if at Clash at the Castle, or they may want to hold it off, because WWE normally does these five match cards for these off shows. So they may want to hold it off until, I want to say, Money in the Bank is next. They may want to hold it off, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have just an all-out street fight, something to that effect. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But the closing scene of Solo Sikoa, they hoist KO up for the triple powerbomb. I mean, who do we know that does the triple powerbomb? Roman Reigns. He is trolling the hell out of Roman Reigns. I'm telling you, when Roman Reigns comes back, and they're in a conundrum here, because do they announce it or does he just show up? I know, because SmackDown does pretty good in ticket sales, so I don't think them announcing it is gonna move that many more tickets. I mean, it may go from a sold out show to like a 98% sold out show, but I think they should keep it a surprise, and Roman just comes out, and it is just the insanity that's going to ensue when they first lock up. Or they may run it where Roman is with them for a while, but you can see Solo's getting jealous and things like that. Hey, but again, this seed has been planted from last year. Remember when Roman would talk to Solo, Solo would always just have that look on his face. Whereas Jimmy and Jay were always subservient to Roman, Solo would always have that look on his face like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Like, who the hell are you talking to type stuff. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out and what goes on. They could run this all the way to War Games. I just hope The Rock is available, because you need The Rock in this War Games match. And my number one takeaway from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown is, oh boy, the Cody that we need. Now, you guys know, and no lie, just today and randomly every now and then I just play back the ending of WrestleMania where he wins and Michael Cole is like, finish the story. And it just syncs up with the 1, 2, 3, the whole post-match celebration, giving the title to his mom, and calling out Triple H and Bruce Pritchard. Needless to say, I'm a Cody Rhodes fan. I'm a Cody crybaby. Whatever. You call me what you want. I'm a Cody Rhodes fan, and I have said that Cody just needs a feud. His matches are great. I don't think he's had a bad match. His matches are phenomenal. He just needs a feud, something to sink his teeth into. And what they did last week, I mean, everybody saw this coming from a mile away, but sometimes predictability is good. The fact that they reheated AJ up that quick and had him hit the Styles Clash off the ring steps to Cody. So this week, we don't get Cody Rhodes in the suit. We don't even get Cody Rhodes with his title. The show starts. Cody Rhodes is outside, cut off shirt, just ready for AJ. Nick Aldis is coming out like, hey, we can't have this. They bring security out, everything trying to get him, to calm down. AJ pulls up. He's hanging out of the window, out of the sunroof of the SUV, talking crap. Cody can't get to him, so Cody goes out to the ring, calls him out. Security comes out, and it's crazy. AJ and the OC come out. They're on the ring. Said, look at that. In one fell swoop, they just heated the OC back up. You haven't seen the OC on TV in, I feel like 6 months. I mean, you see him over on NXT. And by the way, this Sunday, I hope they do win the NXT tag titles. That would be great. But you haven't seen them, but now they're heated back up now. So now it's just like, oh, man, everybody gets heated up. You see, all it takes is one angle. All it takes is one angle to get somebody heated back up. So Cody's trying to get to him. They got all the security on him. Cody ends up fighting the security, trying to get to AJ. Cody's in the ring, and he's like, you know what? AJ's like, hey, give me what I want. His Batista around this thing. Give me what I want. And he's like, I want another shot at the WWE title I want a shot at the WWE title. And Cody's like, if you want it, then it's done. He said, but under one circumstance, it's in something you should have done last week. Say, I quit. And so now we have coming up between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles at Clash of the Castle, an I Quit match. Now, I thought for sure that Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest was going to be the main event. And it should be. It might still be. I didn't think Cody was going to be on this card. But they're adding Cody to this card. This card is looking like it's going to be some fire. You got this match. You got Drew and Damian. You got the triple threat between the women's tag. You have Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. So what's that? 4, and then and then you're gonna have Bayley and Piper. So that's 5 matches right there. This card is gonna be like sick. We will be doing a live watch along through the main event. I don't know what the main event is gonna be. It may be this one. It may be Drew versus Priest. If Drew's not going to win, I wouldn't put that in the main event, because the last time they were over there and they did that where Drew didn't beat Roman, like the fans felt like crap. Even though you brought Tyson Fury out to sing, that made Drew look like an idiot standing in the middle of the ring singing after he just lost that match. But either way, I Quit match between Cody and AJ. They are going to kill it. They're going to tear the house down. Their match in Saudi Arabia was fantastic. Cody Rhodes doesn't miss, but he needed, I said this, he needs a feud. Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in wrestling, period. There's no bigger face than him in wrestling. But he needed a feud to sink his teeth into, to kind of bring out that edge in him. And I think that this with AJ, this is going to like spark something in him. You don't see him in the suit. He has his cutoffs. He doesn't even have his belt with him. He's not smiling. He's not hugging and kissing babies. Speaking of kissing babies, you got to see the video of him pulling the little kid out of the audience and they're doing his entrance, man. Just fantastic, man. Cody Rhodes is the man. Cody Rhodes is the face of the WWE. There's no question, as he just needed a feud to just, bring that dog back out of him. That's why I say heel champions are better, because the face could chase them and the heel could just do all type of dastardly things. But when you have a face champion, it kind of gets weirded out sometimes, because technically the face isn't supposed to be doing things. But if you push him, like you hit the Styles Clash on the guy off the ring steps, hey, that's grounds for me getting upset and wanting to fight you. So there you have it. Those are my 5 takeaways from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Like I said, those of you watching over on Twitter, if you be inclined to, I know it's easy to just watch the show over on Twitter. It's fine. But if you do want to interact with us on any show that we do, just come on over to Straight Talk with Trevor on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Hey, this Sunday is NXT Battleground. I don't know. I might do something on it. I don't know. Because we do have part 3 of Sting, the Sting show coming up this Wednesday on Wrestling with Reality. So if we do have time, we may go over the Battleground card, or I may just do something, separately on it just to review it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. This weekend is going to be really, really busy for me. Hey, but with all that being said, those were my 5 takeaways from tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Until next time, peace!
Bundy pinned his man one time. Pinned him again for a 5 count.
He told the referee keep counting to 5.
The fact of the matter is this: on the 5-time WCW champion, now champion.